ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोर्श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नामिने गौरत्विषे नमः। पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थे भिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्म हृदय आदि कवये मुह्यन्ते सूरया। तेजो वारि मृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th Canto, chapter number 3, verse number 16. This is a meeting between Lord Vishnu and Prachetas. Prachetas, they were performing tapasya inside the water, chanting Rudra Geet. And Lord, being pleased, he appeared to them and he asked them to take some boon from me. And then he was blessing them that he is very pleased because of their cooperative mood with each other. Usually it is very difficult to find another person who can agree with you completely. This is the biggest miracle if it can ever happen. It's only in the spiritual world that everybody agrees. And material world everybody disagrees. Especially in the age of Kali. Kali means the age of disagreement. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that the only solution is Kirtan. This means agreeing together, coming together and agreeing to glorify the Lord. Because we can only if we have material goals, it is not possible to agree. Maybe we can agree for some time till our desires are satisfied. But if the goal is spiritual, then it is possible. So that's why Sankirtan is the only remedy for this Kali Yuga. Because if you perform yoga, you don't have to cooperate with the other person. You do your yoga, I do my yoga. Right? Or you do some karma kanda, you do your yagya and do my yagya. There is no need of cooperation. But in bhakti, especially in kirtan, you cannot do a good kirtan if everybody is not in harmony. So that's why it's the only solution. Otherwise everybody in Kali Yuga especially is individual. Previously, east or west, there were joint families. Family unit was very closely knit. People live together with their family members. Now they call it nuclear family. Actually, there is no family. Nuclear family is a wrong word. Because in nuclear family also there is some electrons hanging around. Now there are no electrons, and protons, neutrons don't live together. So it's only waves, wave families. It's very wavy. So therefore, he was happy. He says, Swahardena apritak dharma, that you are apritak dharma, your nature is non-different from each other. This is quite a feat. 10 people agreeing completely. If one says we are going to eat pizza, all other 9 says yes, we eat pizza. And if one says we are going to have potato chips, yes, we will have potato chips. No disagreement. So therefore he was happy, because this is what God wants. He wants organic family. Not only organic food, but organic family. Organic food is alright. But what is pleasing to him is unity. And that is the only power in Kali Yuga. In other yugas, individually people used to be powerful. Like we hear about Arjuna, Bhima, they were individually powerful people. In Kali Yuga, nobody has power like that. Only you unite, you have support of others, then you have strength. If people take away the support, you may be president, you collapse immediately. You are on the street. So that's why this is Lord's heart. That's why Bhakti is pleasing to him, because in Bhakti people cooperate. And this cooperation ultimately is possible only under the umbrella of the Lord, because that is reality. Because we are all electrons rotating around the Lord. So we can actually have a nuclear family. If Lord is in the center, then we can all be the electrons. But electrons don't collide with each other. So that's why these brothers were happily together, because they had Swaharda. Hrida means heart and Suhrida means good heart. So they had nice heart, well designed. No jerks, functioning smoothly. So then he said that even anyone who remembers you day, morning and evening will become like that. And then he asked them that since your father had ordered you to produce children, very soon you will get a wife. So he blessed them to have a nice wife, which is also a blessing, because if wife is not nice or husband is not nice, then also problem, right? Big problem. So that is one of the problems in the modern society, that husband and wife don't get along together. So previously it was not the problem. So he told them that you have this nice girl. Her name is Marisa. Not only you are Marisa, she was Marisa. She was fed by the moon, and the daughter of sage Pramlocha, Apsara Pramlocha and Kandu. So then they said that you all marry. Now the question was that they said, how is it possible that we are 10 people and we have one wife?
She defeated Draupadi.
Hmm?
Marisa defeated Draupadi.
Yes. So then Lord said that yes, it is possible because apridhak dharma sila nam sarvesham vasumadhama apridhak dharma silayam bhuyat patnir pitashaya. He says that you all have same character and she will also have character like you. That's why it is possible. She will have no difference with you. Because the problem is that if she has a difference, she starts liking one, prefers one over the others, then all these brothers will start fighting. There is a story in the Purana about these two demons, Sunda and Apsunda. They were two brothers and they did austerities and pleased Brahma. So they asked a boon. Brahma said, you can ask some boon from me. And they said, yes, give us the boon that we will not be killed by anybody except by ourselves. And they were also brothers, all the demoniac, but they loved each other very much. So they thought that why will we kill each other? And if we are not killed by others, then no one can kill us. So after getting the boon, they started creating havoc. And they could not be killed by anybody. So then the complaint came to Lord Brahma, that what have you done? Is this a boon or is it a curse? They are troubling everybody, so you please do something. So Brahma thought of a plan that he created a very beautiful woman whose name was Tilottama. Til means sesame seed. So Uttama means best. So the word literally means best of the sesame seed. But what it means is that he took the best of the beauty from everything and combined it and made a beautiful woman. And he gave her the job that you have to create animosity between these two brothers. So he said, she asked, how can I do that? He said, I will tell you the trick. And the trick is that you go and you call one of the brothers and then just give the mantra in the ear. And this is enough. So she went, these two brothers were somewhere enjoying picnic near a lake, having fun. And she appeared there. Suddenly she was very beautiful and making this chum chum sound from her, what is it called? Anklets. And nicely dressed in a chiffon sari. And these apsaras, they also have bodily fragrance. They don't need the perfumes. They are naturally fragrant, the body. So she went there and she started playing, and they both saw and they immediately were attracted to her. So she motioned one of them like this. So one of them soon said, oh, she is calling me, and the other said, no, she is calling me. So anyway, the elder one said that you are younger, you better listen to me. So he went. So when he went, she said that I have to tell you something very secret. And he said, what? Says, I will just tell it in your ear, just like the Guru gives the mantra in the ear. So I said, okay. She put the mouth next to the ear and didn't say anything. And then she left. And he says, now you can go. He says, but you said. He says, yeah, that's all. So he came back and his brother asked, so what did she say? What did she say? And he said, well, she didn't say anything. He said, what do you mean? I saw that she was mumbling something into your ears. And he said, no, really, he didn't say anything. He said, you are a liar. He says, what, you are calling me a liar? He says, yeah, you don't want to tell me just because you are attracted to her. And then quarrel started between these two brothers and they started fighting and they killed each other. So here it says that this girl is apradak dharma silayam, that she is having same character, same nature, just like you. Means she will match with all of you nicely and there will be no cause of any rift among you. So bhuyat patni arpita asha. So she will actually have her heart surrendered to you completely. So Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti, he comments, Nanu bahunam katham eka bharya syat. So if they say that how we are many and we can have only one wife, so this is never heard of. So then Lord said, Apruthak dharmasila, that don't worry. And bhuyat iti mad ashirvad eva drishta adrishta dosham upsamishyati iti bhava. So Lord is saying that let she be your surrendered wife, and Vishwanath Chakravarti, he comments that in this way he blessed them, that by my blessing you will have no problems. And all types of difficulties as far as your relationship with her is concerned, they will be quelled because of my blessings. Divya Varsha Sahasranam Sahasramahataujasah Bhauman Bhokshata Bhogan Vai Divyam Chanugrahan Mama. And then he says that by my blessings you enjoy pleasures on earth and also heavenly pleasures for thousands of years. This is my blessing to you. So the Lord is giving his blessing to them. Divyanam Varsa Sahasranam Sambandhinam Kalam Abhivyapya Sahasram Anantan Bhogam Bhokshatapyam. So he says that for 1,000 of Divya, divine years, not only mortal years, but divine years. So they have 12 years, make, actually their 6 months is like 1 day for us. Sorry, our 6 months are 1 day for them. That's why we have Uttarayan and Dakshinayan. 6 days, 6 months are their night, and our 6 months are their 1 day. So our 1 year is like 1 day and night for them. So like this day, he said, you enjoy for 1,000 years. And thousands of opulences you enjoy. Sahasranam iti kapilan kapinjalan alabhet iti vat trayanam. So he gives a meaning of 1,000 here as 3. And this is because there is a Nyaya in Purvamimamsa, which is called Kapinjal Nyaya. And this Kapinjal Nyaya comes from a Vedic statement. In the Vedas there is a statement Kapinjalan Alabhet. that there is a yajna in which the bird kapinjala is used, but the statement does not specify how many. It says kapinjalan alavet. Alavet can mean that you have to sacrifice by chopping off their neck, or you have to touch them. Both meaning are there. So whichever. But the thing is that how many kapinjal birds? That is not stated. The word is used in plural. Kapinjalaha, kapinjalo, 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 kapinjala. So this is plural, second vibhakti. So then the commentators, the scholars of Purnimansa, they say that in Sanskrit plural starts from 3. You have a singular case, dual case, and then 3 is the plural. So 3 and more can be kapinjalan. Could be 3, 4, 5 or anything. So he says, since we are not able to know how much it is, then we just take the minimum, which makes it plural. So therefore they say that it should take 3 kapinjala birds. Otherwise there is no limit. So similarly he says that sahasra here means 3. It's just a word for plural, which means 3. Otherwise the word sahasra means 1,000. So for thousands of years here means 3,000 years, basically. And then what will happen after that? Atha mayena painya bhaktya pakva gunashayaha upashyatha madhama nirvidya niryadataha. He says that after that, when your heart would have become completely pure by performing devotion unto me, then you will come to my abode, leaving all these planets which are as good as hell. So nirvidya, you will become disinterested in anything here, any material pleasures, whether on earth or in heaven, then you will come to me. He bhaktya pakku gunashaya. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur gives a different understanding. Instead of taking this pakku gunashaya, that bhaktya pakku gunashaya, if you see, it seems as if after their hearts have become purified by bhakti, then they will go to the Lord's abode. But that type of explanation can have a problem. That does it mean that they were not pure because they already got the darshan of the Lord? And Lord said, I am pleased with you and I am blessing you. So they must be already pure in heart. So keeping this objection in the mind, that one can object like this, he is seeing the verse in another manner. Instead of seeing this word, that these people, when their heart becomes pure, he's taking the word pakku gunashaya as an invocatory word. That, O you whose hearts are pure, you will come to me. After you have become dispassionate and everything else, you will lose interest here. So that's why it says, He bhaktya pakku gunashaya. Means they are already like that, not that they will become. Atha bhaume bhogante madhame yasyati. After enjoying the pleasures on earth, or material earthly pleasures, then you will come to me. Natu bhavishyantya bhaktya pakku gunasya sante iti vakya. He says that it should not be explained that in future they will perform bhakti and then they will become pure in the heart. He says it should not be explained like this. Why is that? Apakva kashayanam bhagavad darshana sambhavat. Because a person whose heart is not pure, cannot have darshan of the Lord. My Lord will appear to such a person. Taduktam avipakva kasayanam durdarsho hanku yogina. So this is from the first canto. When Narada Muni, his mother died, and he went to north, traveled through the forest, and suddenly he heard a voice he was meditating. Then he heard the sound, and then Lord disappeared. So Lord has appeared in his heart for a short moment, and then he disappeared. And then he made this statement, Hantasmin Janmani Bhavan Mam Na Bhavan Mam Drashtum Arhati Avipakva Kashayanam Durdarshoham Kuyoginam. It says, in this life you will not see me because I am not seen by those people whose hearts are not completely free from Kasaya, impurities. So since Lord is personally manifest to them, then it is understood that their hearts are pure. And that's why he explains it in a different manner. Ataha idanta aspadatvat parmeshthyad I padadapi niriyatulyatu tulyan nirvati. So he says that you will consider all these even heavenly planets, including the planet of Brahma, as good as hell. Means you will not take any interest. Because a devotee has no desire except to serve the Lord. And there is no other desire to enjoy. Anyabhilasita sunni. Gyan karmadi anavritam. So Gyan means liberation, karma means material enjoyment. Yoga means mystic powers, supernatural powers. So a pure devotee has no such interest. So therefore even abode of Brahma is useless to a devotee. There is no chance to perform devotion there. That's why he says that you will come to me. गृहेषु आविशतां चापि पुंसां कुशलकर्मणां मद्वार्तायाते यामानां न बन्धाय गृहामतः. Now one may say that we are going to get into family life, which is considered as a bondage. So how is that we will come to you? So I say that house is not a bondage if one is engaged in my katha. So I say you are, and in fact he is not only speaking about them, but he is giving a principle in general. Griheshu avisatam chapi punsam kusal karmanam. It says those who are expert in performing activities, such people, even while living in the family life, madvartayati yamanam ne bandhaya. If they spend time in speaking and hearing and discussing about me, then they are not bound by the house. Because house is not some living entity that binds him. We are bound because of our attachment. It is we who become attached. We see that this house or family people or wealth or power, it gives us some pleasure, some satisfaction. So we become attached to it. Otherwise nothing is that which binds. So if our mind is attached to the Lord, then our attachment is not to anything material. So such people, even while living in the house, they remain free or liberated. Nanu tarhi bhauman bhokshat bhogan ityuktya nirya tulye vishya bhoge tvad bhakti pratikule kathamasman nikshipsasi tatra. So as a prachetas are asking a question that one side you are talking that we will come to you, other side you are saying that you enjoy these earthly pleasures. He says these earthly pleasures, they are just like hell. Vishaya. Sense objects in Sanskrit are called Vishaya. And poison is called Visha. So there is Visha and Vishaya. Visha kills you if you drink it. If you take poison inside you, then it will kill you. And Vishaya kills you without drinking, just by thinking. So Sangat Sanjayate Kam Dhyayato Vishayan Pumsa Sangaste Subjayate. Krishna says that you meditate on the Vishaya, then you develop attachment for them. And that is worse than poison. So therefore this Vishaya and Vishaya or Madhya. Between these two, this is the Vishaya which is more powerful than the Visha. So he says that why are you throwing us into this hellish sense pleasures which are contrary to devotional activities? That we cannot perform if somebody's mind is engaged in sense objects, then how is it possible that such a person can perform devotional service? Vishayavist chittanam bhakti to sudurutaha. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu Goswami says that those whose hearts are captivated by Vishaya, same word is using, then bhakti is very far away from them. So, Andri Diggatam Vastu, Varuni Diggatam Vastu Katham Andri Apniyat. Something which is in the westerly direction and you search it in the east, how will you find it? So which means that bhakti and sense pleasure, they are in the opposite directions. They are not together. If one wants to perform devotional service, then one should not make plan to enjoy sense objects. And if one wants to enjoy sense objects, one should not plan bhakti, because that will spoil all sense pleasures. So therefore they are saying that why are you throwing us into this sense pleasures which are an obstacle to devotional service? So then Lord speaks this verse that these are obstacle only to those who are not devotees. Those whose mind is fixed in devotion, where will they live? They will also live in some house. They will also wear clothes. They will also eat food. They will also need money. So these things do not bind such a person. Grihesu avishatam prapt aveshanam api kushalam mat paricharanam eva karma yesha. Says even those people who are living in the house, taking care of it, maintaining it very nicely, they have no problem, because if they are kushala karma, if they are engaged in my devotional service, mat paricharyana, then the house is not going to create any trouble. Mat kathaya yato yamah praharoti. So those people who are spending their time in hearing my katha, yesham prahar madhye mat katha yesham avashyam eva bhavati. So he says that prahara means 3 hours. So he says every 3 hours some katha is there. There are 8 praharas in day and night. So that's why they have Ashtayam. This Leela of Krishna, 8 divisions. Ayamartha, the meaning is as follows. Karma janyanam eva bhoganam bandhakatvam niryatulyat bhakti pratikulyam cha. Says only those sense pleasures, only those objects which come as a result of performing karma, they are problematic. So any sense object which comes as a result of material activity, then it will become a cause of bondage. Number 1. Number 2, it is hellish. It will give you suffering. यही संस्पर्श जब होगा दुख होने ही होते. So it will be the source of dukkham or suffering. And number 3, it will be an obstacle to bhakti. Bhakti pratikulyam. So that's why a devotee does not want to engage in any karma or any materialistic action. Natu madanugraha janyana. But those objects which have appeared by the grace of the Lord, they are not the cause of bondage. So Pandavas, Yudhishthira Maharaj, he was ruling, but that did not become a bondage for him, because he got this as a grace of the Lord. Parikshit Maharaj also ruled, but he was not bound by it. When he heard that he will die in 7 days, he dropped everything, went and sat at the bank of Yamuna, Ganga, near Haridwar. If he had any attachment, he will not be able to concentrate on hearing Bhagavatam. Then he will worry what the minister is doing, what that person will be doing, what the treasurer is doing. So kings have so many thoughts. But he heard one pointedly, there was no thought. It's very amazing that you drop one thing suddenly and then you don't think of it. Usually you have samskaras of your house or your job and you think of it. Even if you are hearing Krishna Katha, suddenly your mind may go there. It did not happen to Parikshit Maharaj. He just got it out of his head. Why? Because the attachment was not there. Our mind goes wherever the attachment is. That is the characteristic of the mind. So if you want to know where is my attachment, just sit down quietly and see where the mind is going. What is it thinking of? Sit in a lonely room, close your eyes, and then see what comes up. Or sleep at night, get up in the morning and remember the dreams. What were you dreaming? So that will tell you where is the attachment. Because wherever the attachment is, then mind is naturally thinking on it. So therefore he says that devotees, they are not disturbed by the sense objects, because these sense objects which they have, they are getting by the grace of the Lord. Because devotee sees everything as a grace of the Lord. Whatever happens, it is Lord's arrangement. And if we have this vision, then there is nothing which can cause disturbance. It's not possible. So madanugraha janyanam ateva mama anugrahat bhauman bhokshati. So therefore Lord says that when I am saying that you enjoy the earthly pleasures, those earthly pleasures you are getting by my grace. So they may look like earthly pleasures, like any other king is enjoying, they also may enjoy. They have servants, nice dress, nice arrangement to live, food. But this is all the blessings of the Lord. A normal person gets situations in his life because of karma. A devotee may also get similar situation, but he sees this as the grace of the Lord. Because devotee is not under the law of karma. That is the difference. Although externally it looks, and the devotee is also suffering karma sometimes, they may also speak like that out of humility. But fact is different. So, grihesu avastam mayoktam ato anyatrapi yatra vishaya bhogayapi mad bhaktir asankochaha pratyut vriddhireva drishya chet tadasa vishaya bhogo mad anugraha janya eva anumeva nabandha. So he says that therefore anywhere else, if you see that even after engaging in some sense pleasure, if the person's devotion is not contracting, reducing, diminishing, rather it is increasing, then it is to be understood that this type of sense object or situation to enjoy is the blessing of the Lord, and therefore it is not cause of bondage. So we have to see from the outcome that what is the result of that situation, whether the person is forgetting the Lord, becoming absorbed in sense pleasures, or even in the midst of those sense pleasures he is happily remembering Lord, in fact remembering more. Maybe he's got a nice comfortable situation and now he can chant better, read better, meditate better. So then that situation is by the grace of the Lord. That is not to be, there is no need to renounce that and unnecessarily create problem for oneself. So that's what has to be seen. Of course, it can be a tightrope. Mind is very clever. It can rationalize many ways. This is the problem with bhakti, because externally everything looks same. So you can mistake forest for trees or trees for the forest, whichever. And that happens many times. Se todo con anuara golo del sino no hay ningún problema. What is the meaning of this? But Sujana is writing. Se todo con. You can understand?
Se todo con.
Se todo con un arreglo del Señor no hay ningún problema.
See, everything is an arrangement of the Lord. Something like that.
I thought some questions he's asking.
Here is the person.
Okay.
Explains.
So, Prithu, Prahlad, Dhruv, Manvadishu, Tatha Darshanat. So he gives example that Prithu Maharaj, great king, ruling all over the earth. Prahlad also is living in Sutala planet, big opulence. And Manu, Dhruv Maharaj, he had a whole planet for himself. So this is not bondage. It's by the blessing of the Lord. Lord wants to show that bhakti can also give this. Otherwise, people may become scared that Yasyaham anugranami harisyeta dhanam sanaya. Whomever I want to bless, then I take away his money. And everybody gets scared. So he does that, but he also gives anugrah like this. It's not necessary that he only takes away, he also gives, depending on what kind of a devotee a particular person is, or what is best suited for that person. Also depending on the earlier desires, maybe Lord is trying to satisfy some of the desires. There are different considerations. He may want to show to others that my devotee can have opulence which no one can have. And sometimes he can take away everything. So for devotee it does not make a difference, because his interest, his thought, his absorption is not on the sense pleasures. So he is happy in both situations. So avipakva kasayesu tu bhaktesu madanugraho bhoga chavaka eva drashta. Says, but when a person, a devotee's heart is not very clean, avipakva kasaya, then my blessing to such a person is that I will take away the enjoyments from him. Otherwise they will disturb. So for such people he says, Yasyaham anugranami harisyeta dhanam. So this is not for everybody. It's like somebody is sick, having fever, then you don't give him sweet rice to eat, because this is not going to give nourishment to his body. He is sick already, his digestive system is spoiled, and you give him some nice halwa or sweet rice. This is not a good thing for him to eat. So a good doctor will not give that. In fact, even if he is eating, he will take it away. But if somebody has a strong digestive fire, give him nice sweet rice, he will digest and gain strength. So depending on this condition, the situation of a devotee, then Lord also correspondingly, he gives pleasures or he takes away. That depends what is best for the devotee. Navyavadhridya yajgya brahmetad brahmavadibhi navuyanti na sochanti na hishyanti yato gataha. He says those people who are always seeing me as fresh and new, they are hearing my pastimes regularly, and such speakers or such audience, to them I appear always fresh. It's never boring to them. So after attaining me, they are not bewildered by anything. They are not deluded. They don't lament for anything. They are not also elated as materialistic people do. So they are absolutely free from that. Tesham bhaktanam kuto bandha dukkham yatah tesham hridaya ahamapi sukham praptum nityam vasami ityaha naviti. He says that such devotees, where is the possibility of suffering from bondage to them? He says even to get happy, I sit in their heart. Hridayahamapi sukham praptum nityam, ever, always. To say this, he speaks this verse. Etan mat swarupam brahmavadibhir brahmuchyate iti says. Brahma etad brahmavadibhir. So he says that those who are the followers of Brahma, they call by this form as Brahm. Others call it Bhagavan. Yato yatra brahmani gata lina na muhyanti. So those who have attained Brahman, they are not deluded by anything. There is no question of any lamentation, happiness. Moha shoka harshat na prapnuvanti. Soham gyo vigyo api yad yasmat tesham kusal karmanam hridaya kamlam navyavat pratipadam nutanvat aye prapnumi janam. So he says that to such people, I, who is the knower of all this, I sit in their heart. These people who are performing wonderful devotional activities, kusal karmanam. Hridaya kamlam navyavat pratipadam nutanvat aye prapnam. So their heart is always fresh, new. Tesam hridaya navyavadaham bhami iti sandarbha. He is quoting Jiva Goswami that there are two meanings. Vishwanath Chakravarti says that I see their heart always new before I am sitting there. And Jiva Goswami says that it is the devotee who sees the Lord like always fresh because of Lord's presence. So both meaning can be taken from that. So this is the end of verse 20, and now Maitreya will speak that how did Prachetas react to this. This is the last verse spoken by the Lord. And now in the upcoming verses there are nice prayers of the Prachetas to the Lord. So we'll read that in tomorrow's class. Yes.
There was a statement that the Lord does not appear to someone whose heart is not completely pure. What about the case of Dhruva Maharaj? Dhruva had this desire for power or for a high position, and yet the Lord appeared to him.
Because when he appeared, his heart was clean. That's why when he asked him that to take some boon, he said, "No, I don't want anything. I'm satisfied now." It is Lord who told him that you go and rule and then you will come to Dhruva planet. And when Dhruva was walking, he was actually feeling that I have been cheated. Why did he give me this? So although he started his meditation with this intention, but in the process he got clean of this desire. Then when Lord appeared, he did not have that. So then he came, he says, "No, I'm happy. I don't need anything." Varam na yache, kritarthvasmi swami varam na yache. That I am satisfied, I don't ask for any boon.
So this means that we have to be very careful about the intention. The intention has to be really very clear when we perform our devotion. Because although he has given up this beginning intention, then he has to get anyway the result of the intention.
And that is Lord gave him, but at least at that time there was no desire in his.
And in the case of Narada Muni, in his previous life, when the Lord disappeared because he said he was not pure enough. But in the case of Narada Muni, in his previous life, when the Lord appeared to him and then he disappeared and he said, "You cannot see me anymore because you're not pure enough." But
Well,
when he
in his
in the
case,
first place-
his appearance was not really that he appeared in front of him. It was just an intuition in the heart, because he was meditating, and then suddenly Lord gave an inspiration, and then he disappeared. And then he opened his eyes and says he was feeling as if he has lost his wealth. So then he heard the sound. So he did not manifest.
So could one say when the Lord appears externally, there is a more
Yeah.
higher degree?
Yeah, internal expression is different. Lord did not appear externally to him. Right. Hare Krishna.